Day, May 2nd, is National Day of Prayer. National Day of Prayer. National Day of Prayer is a day set aside to seek the face of God. Not just by religious people, but by the secular world. And it will interest you to know that National Day of Prayer started in the United States of America. United States of America. This day was established by the Second Continental Congress from 1775 until 1783 by President John Adams. In 1798 and in 1799. It was then, when he was the governor of Virginia, that they established a day of prayer and thanksgiving. A day of prayer and thanksgiving. Until 1952, 1952 precisely, by a joint resolution of the United States Congress, it was signed into law by President Harry Truman. President Harry Truman signed it into law in the year 1952. And since then, almost all the presidents of America, even if they don't observe it, they must make a speech to mark this day. In fact, we are told that Donald Trump and the wife usually attend church service in observation of this National Day of Prayer. All of them issued presidential proclamation for a National Day of Prayer. Now, we are talking of America, a country that people look at as a secular country, the most secularized country in the world, and yet they have a day set aside for National Day of Prayer. And they also have a day for Thanksgiving, sometime in November, a day of Thanksgiving. So what does that say to you? Could this be the secret of their success? A day of prayer, a National Day of Prayer. And I'm sure they must have done this in compliance to 2 Chronicles chapter 7 verse 14. 2 Chronicles chapter 7 verse 14. What the presidents of America, the people of America in general, did is exactly what God requested in 2 Chronicles chapter 7 verse 14. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves. If they will humble themselves, pray, and seek my face, and if they will turn away from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven, and I will forgive their sins, and I will heal their land. I will hear from heaven, I will forgive their sins, and I will heal their land. Is that not what a national day of prayer is all about? A country that we look up to as a secularized country. Most of these African countries, the only thing they learn from America are evil things. Evil things. But good things they will never learn. Our leaders, presidents came together and signed into law a national day for prayer. This same America that we are calling a secularized country, a secular nation, pick their currency, any of their money, the dollar. In God we trust. In God we trust. The first declaration in their constitution also states clearly, in God we trust. And I'm asking again, could this be the secret of their success? God said, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves, pray and seek my face, turn away from their wicked ways, I will hear from heaven, I will forgive their sins, and I will heal their land. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. That America is succeeding today is because they have so much fear for God. You see, most of these Pentecostal churches we have in Africa, trace it, most of them are being sponsored by Americans. They don't joke with God. They love God. They love the things of God. Are you aware that even the government made a provision for people to support churches during the tax at the end of the year when you are doing your tax clearance? Any donation you make in churches or humanitarian service, they will pay you back. Is there any other country that does something like that? You will come and tell the government that you supported in charity work, you supported the things of church. Look at the leaders in Nigeria. Recently, one of them, the former governor of Edo State, came out and was telling people that Jesus Christ cannot enrich anybody. But go to America, you will, at the end of every tax year, the citizens will submit the money, and the government will pay them, will refund them, encouraging them to do charity work, encouraging them to help churches. I didn't know. In fact, no wonder Nigeria is backward, because we have pagan leaders who don't have the fear of God, leaders who don't even believe in God. And he's saying that Jesus Christ has not enriched anybody. Go to America. If you are in doubt, we are talking of a nation that God has blessed because of their faith in God, unshakable faith in God. All of them are running to America. They will not learn anything good from America. When they come back, just they secularize. They will give you the impression to be secularized is to go against God, is to fight against God. Bundle of illiterates, unbelievers. That's why they are not making any headway. Because Jesus Christ said in John chapter 15 verse 5, apart from me, you can do nothing. Most of these African countries are not succeeding because they are pagan territory. Their leaders don't believe in God. Not until you have a God-fearing leader, you are not going to progress. The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. You came out to tell people that Jesus cannot enrich anybody. Go to America. America is a case study. America is one of the nations that Jesus Christ has enriched. And they are proud. They are not ashamed of what they believe. They are not ashamed to let the world know that they put their trust in God. That dollars you people are running after, looking for, since you don't believe in God, don't ever touch dollar. Because dollar has an inscription on it, in God we trust. If you don't believe in God and you don't believe in Jesus Christ, cease to use dollar. Because dollar is a product of God. In God we trust. And I want to celebrate the Americans for their love for God, for their reverence for God. No wonder God is blessing them. No wonder they emerge as the world superpower. In God we trust. What a wonderful idea. What a wonderful vision. To set aside a day, and they declare that day National Day of Prayer. Tell me any African countries that have done that. Pagan territory. Can you mention any African country that have signed into law a particular day? And we have Christmas, Christmas, Easter, even America, they celebrate all those. But to set aside a day and dedicate it to a day of prayer, has any African country done that? And not until they start doing something like this, forget progress. I want to commend the American government. I celebrate you people for encouraging your citizens to pray. People don't understand America. You see them, you look at them, you only see the negative side of America. But there are other positive parts of America which people have not discovered. There are other positive sides. When it comes to the things of God, reverence for God, recognizing God, volunteering for the things of God, Americans are the best. They volunteer. They are ever ready to give a helping hand when it comes to the things of God, because it is part of their system to help. It is part of their, it is inscribed into their system. You don't need to, and that's why they are men of God. don't have to come up and be begging, because the system provides for them. There is, you are working for God, Americans will take care of you. The American government will take care of you. Not just taking care of you directly, encouraging their citizens to support the work of God. Tell me any African country that does that. And they are using it to insult the church, insult the Christians. You don't put anything in place. Do you know the work these men of God are doing? If not for the men of God, the politicians will mess up the whole place, cause riot. During election, there will be tension everywhere, and the men of God are the ones that are preaching peace, preaching forgiveness, telling the people not to revenge, telling the people to be calm. If I start analyzing to you, telling you what the work men of God are doing, even most of the work government are supposed to do in Nigeria, it is the church and men of God that are doing it. Ministry of Health. How many times have you spoken to your minister of health? But men of God are always there. Anybody that is sick, they will rush the person to the church. The man of God will be the one to pray for the sick person. The man of God, at times, we spend our money to take care of the sick. People call men of God at any time. The work, the bulk of work men of God are doing. Politicians are taking the glory. Politicians are taking the glory. Because they are not close to the people. The only time they are close to the people is during campaign. And then they will put on a pretense face. You see them dancing, you think that it is real. Moving from one pulpit, church to another, campaigning, you think that they are believers. When they have gotten their mandate, they will start insulting the same church, the same finger that is feeding them. And when these people, when they die, the church will be the one to bury them. Not even die, they don't need to die. The church is there for them. When they want to receive the sacrament of baptism, is it the president that does it for you? When you want to receive confirmation, is it the governor that does it for you? You want to wed. Have you seen any president wedding somebody, blessing somebody's marriage? Have you seen any governor blessing somebody's marriage? Still the men of God you are insulting. Okay? When the people commit sin, they come to the man of God for confession. When they die, it is the same man of God that will bury them. And they don't even think of the welfare of these men of God. You know? So, I celebrate America today. Especially in this time around that we have pagan leaders in Africa who don't have the fear of God. And that's why they are not progressing. The only thing they know is to embezzle public fund. Rig election. That is what they are good at. And they are coming out to insult the Christians. Not even insulting the Christians, but telling people that Jesus Christ doesn't make anybody rich. You see how emotional I'm becoming because of that statement. You can insult me, I will overlook it. But never you insult Jesus Christ to my hearing. I love him. I cherish him. He is the one that made me who I am. I keep saying it. So you dare not insult Jesus Christ, and I will spare you. So please, African leaders, you people should learn from American leaders. Set up a day. And I pray that this National Day of Prayer will become an international day of prayer. The whole world needs it. Is there any country that doesn't need prayer? Is there any nation that does not need prayer? Only a foolish nation. will tell you that they don't need prayer or they don't need God. Let's learn from America. Let's learn from America. They have set a pace, a good pace for others to follow. Prayer is not just a religious act. It's not just for Christians. It's not just for Muslims. It's for every child, every reasonable child of God. Because all these politicians, they belong to one religion or another. You are either, here in Nigeria, you are either a Muslim or you are a Christian. And you are fighting God. You are fighting prayer. You are either a Christian or a Muslim. Then why are you fighting prayer? Why can't you people come together and do what Americans have done? I am challenging the African leaders. They should come together, do what America passed into law a day. It must not necessarily be May 2nd. If you can adopt May 2nd, better. A day, National Day of Prayer. Without God, we can do nothing. One with God is a majority. Prayer is the channel of blessing. Prayer is the channel of success. A prayerful child is a powerful child. If you want to be powerful, then you need to be prayerful. If you want to acquire more inspiration, then you need to be prayerful. If you want to hear from God, and if you want God to hear from you, then you need to be prayerful. Even your relationship with nature, you can connect to nature through prayer. You can have a healthy relationship with your fellow human being through prayer. Your nation will be at peace through prayer. And let me tell you one thing. If you want your children to obey you, to respect you, you must have respect for God. Your children must see you respecting God. Your children must see you obeying God. The easiest way to teach your children how to respect you, obey their parents, is to, children, how it works. When children see you obeying a superior being, you are teaching them to obey you as a superior being. Your love and respect for God will transfer to your children. I once taught my members, I said, whenever you are doing anything for your parents, make sure your children are involved. I encourage my members to be paying tithe to their parents. That is what I encourage them. So when you are paying tithe to your parents, your children are learning from you. When you become when they start earning money, they will start paying tithe to you. Same with the prayer. Watch every family that prays. The family that prays together stays together. They are united. Prayer is a uniting force. Prayer is a uniting force. Any family that you see that is united today, that family is a praying family. But any family that you see today that are having one issue or another, that family, they don't, just trace it, you will discover they don't have family prayer. Okay? So when the book of Proverbs declares that you should train up your children in a way that they should grow, and when they grow, they will never depart from it. Okay? If you train your children how to pray, as Americans have trained their citizens how to pray, if you train your children how to pray, my dear, That is the best asset you have given them. You may not be there with them forever, but God will be there with them forever. Instead of you praying for your children, teach your children how to pray. And when you teach your children how to pray, they will be the one praying for you. But if you don't teach your children how to pray, you will spend the rest of your life praying for them. That is where you see some women, some mothers, everywhere they are going, they are carrying the picture of their children. They are carrying the picture of their children. Pray for my daughter, she's not married. Pray for my son, she doesn't have a job. Because you never taught your children how to pray. But when you teach your children how to pray, they will be the ones praying for you. Is it not better? You have your children praying for you than you be the one praying for them all the time. Okay? So, I want to commend America once again, especially all the past presidents that have celebrated this National Day of Prayer. I want to applaud them. Please, can you applaud them for me? Applaud America for establishing a National Day of Prayer. Applaud their leaders for passing it into law. Applaud them for doing what God said they should do. 2 Chronicles chapter 7 verse 14. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves, turn away from their wicked ways, cry to me, I will answer from heaven and I will heal their land. I want to thank the Americans for listening to this humble advice, for listening to this divine direction. And I want to encourage other countries, other nations, other presidents to take a lead from what Americans have done. Let this day be declared International Day of Prayer. I pray that in the near future, and it will surely happen, in the near future, May 2nd will be recognized all over the world as International Day of Prayer. International Day of Prayer. So, please, having said that, I want to also encourage you. You are my children. Remember, I keep telling you that I'm not only here to pray for you. I am here to teach you how to pray. And this is the month of May. Month of May devotion. It is the month of prayer. It is the month of Our Lady, the month of prayer, May devotion. So please, take this May devotion seriously. Gather your family members. Recite the rosary, if possible, on a daily basis. The family that prays together stays together. Take this day very seriously, please. I want to encourage you people, all of you, to take this National Day of Prayer seriously. And you can as well create awareness. Let people know that there is a day called National Day of Prayer. And that is why I am here. I may not succeed because the time is so limited. I may not succeed in telling you all that you need to know about National Day of Prayer. But one thing I want to, at least I have achieved, is that I have succeeded in creating awareness. Knowledge is power. In creating awareness, most of you who doesn't even know that there is a day called a National Day of Prayer, now you have got to know that there is a day called National Day of Prayer. And I'm happy and I'm glad that I have succeeded in creating this awareness. So please go out and keep creating the awareness. Let people around you know that today is National Day of Prayer. And not just that, The best way to celebrate this day is to pray. You know, don't just talk about it, but make out time, even if it is 1 hour. Or in fact, let me not exaggerate. If you can spend 10 minutes before the close of the day, just 10 minutes, communicate with your God. Pray with your God. Talk to your God. Listen to God before the close of the day, please. As you do so, God will surely bless you. Once again, I wish you all happy National Day of Prayer. Shalom, and may God bless. Long live America, and long live all of you that believe in prayer.